As the Argentine player lined up his penalty, the German goalkeeper did something very strange. He reached down into his sock and pulled out a piece of paper. He stood there for a moment, studying it, and then put it back into his sock. The Argentinians thought it was weird, but they continued on and took their shot, which the keeper seemed to save with ease. Argentina were confused. The World Cup quarter-final had come down to a penalty shootout, and the German keeper, Jens Lehmann, had now correctly picked which direction to dive twice in a row, each time looking at the piece of paper before the shot. The Argentinians talked between themselves and they started to wonder what on earth could be written on that piece of paper. The next Argentinian lined up for their third penalty shot. Lehmann pulled out the piece of paper, studied it, and then put it away in his sock again. He didn't save it this time, but once again he'd picked the correct direction to dive. And as Esteban Cambiasso lined up to take Argentina's fourth penalty, Lehmann once again stared at the piece of paper. People who watched the match at the time had theories about what was written on the paper. Some people thought that it must have some kind of statistical analysis of each player's penalty habits. Others thought the paper was empty and Lehmann was just playing mind games. But we actually know what was written on that paper, because after this game, Lehmann's cheat sheet, as it became known, was auctioned off for a children's charity, and when it was purchased for €1 million, it was then donated to a German museum. And on that paper was written a prediction for Cruz,
Silences the crowd.
Ayala,
Advantage Germany!
and Rodriguez.
Oh, he's found the corner with a really well-struck penalty.
But Cambiasso wasn't on the list. He wasn't one of Argentina's typical penalty shooters. So the predictions, which had been given to Lehmann by Germany's coaching staff after sifting through a database of 13,000 penalty kicks, didn't have Cambiasso's name on it. Of course, Lehmann knew this, but he also knew that the very act of him looking at the paper and then predicting the Argentinians' shots was starting to unnerve them. So, once again, he studied the paper, put it away, and then
He saved it!
Germany made it through to the semi-finals.